I don't know that there have been so many dating books specifically written in the last, 15, 20 years. I kind of looked around the marketplace and I saw there's a real need for this, particularly of late, with the millennials and the Gen Z and the apps and the situationships and like all this stuff going on. It's very confusing. And what may have worked 20 years ago, it needs a little tweaking now. So, as far as the apps go, I will tell a woman, it's not a problem if you want to be on them, but if you feel you're getting burnt out, I would take a break. The apps don't tend to cultivate a very serious type of guy. So it can get very burnt out. And if we're going to be burnt out, then we don't have the inner strength to continue this dating journey. So I believe that God can find our person, even if you're not on the apps. And one thing that I'm very big on is networking. I tell my clients, make a list of minimum 20 people in your life, not matchmakers, regular people, your aunt, the lady at synagogue, your married friends, your cousin's husband, right? Like people in your life that know people, and send them a little blurb of what you're looking for and encourage them to think of you. Many matches have been made this way, probably more than 50%. So I encourage the women I work with, and I would encourage guys to do this as well, to make a little paragraph description of you and what you're looking for. This is essentially your deal breaker list in paragraph form. And you're sending that out, you're broadcasting it to as many people as you really can come up with in your network. By the way, we do this naturally for our professional life, right? We can't sit on a chair and say, God, get me a job. We have to write a resume. We have to network. We have to interview. So it's the same thing when we're looking for a spouse. We need to make a little description of what we're looking for, send it out to people, and network like it's no one's business. This is really, I think I could say that both of my daughters, their matches came about in this way, where I was just randomly sharing with someone what they were looking for. So this is, I think, probably a little bit of a novel concept for many people out there, because, what they would do for their professional life, they're all of a sudden awkwarded out to do for their dating. They're like, it's desperate. It's not desperate. It's assertive. It's confident. You know what you're looking for and you're using your network. Great. Fabulous. That's excellent advice. Again, I feel this book really could be read by anyone anywhere on the Jewish spectrum, from completely not observant to fully observant. Obviously, we're going to be dating in different ways. In, the way that my daughters dated, obviously was very quick. I think they both got engaged on like the 7th date. So most of my clients are not dating in that world. They're either completely in the secular world, meeting people on apps or events or suggestions, or they're more in like the traditional modern Orthodox world where, they are dating for a little bit longer. So, and certainly all of my Balei Tshuva, my clients that I work with that did not grow up religious, and as they're becoming more observant. So I really try to stick to the rule of we should be dating for 3 months minimum, because when you didn't grow up in this world, you just need more time. And particularly if someone has had a lot of dating history that they need to kind of work through, it's going to take a little longer. So, but for anyone, the first 2 dates are really just being very present. Basic chemistry, airplane talk, don't get into any crazy deep discussions. From 3 on, we're determining the deal breakers are there, common goals and values. The vision that we have for the future is the same as his. There's basic mutual respect. I respect him. He's respectful of me. There's admiration there. There's an emotional connection that's slowly developing. There's a basic physical attraction that's slowly developing. And, again, the Lev Tov and the growth mindset. So that's basically from 3 dates on, we're just every date, we want to know the person better and better. I don't want you to waste a date, right? So again, going to a movie for 2 hours is pretty much a waste of a date because you didn't get to know him any better. So we want to just be like walking and talking, basically, out to dinner, coffee, whatever, stay in public, because that's really basically the only way that you're going to be able to successfully date with dignity and shelve the physical, is if you're always in public. And you're just really focusing on what we call tachlis, which means concrete, practical, making sure we're compatible. At some point, again, in the more right-wing world, it's going to be quicker, but at some point, you're going to have a meeting of the minds conversation with the person you're dating of like, where are we at? Like, are we good? And so obviously in the very right-wing world, that could be on date 7, 8, 9. For most of my clients, it's going to be, a month and a half, 2, 3 months, something like that, maybe 6 months, depending on if they're really dating in the secular world. Maybe it would even take a year. As long as they're trying to keep it kosher, especially in the beginning, I'm okay with that. I don't tell someone what to do in terms of like if they're, I don't make them conform to like the orthodox way of dating. I'm trying to give them the tools to date successfully with Jewish dating wisdom as best they can. And I'm a realist, obviously. I don't expect everyone to do 0 to 100. Obviously, that's not what I did. But at some point, you're going to have a conversation where you're like, yeah, okay, wow, this is exciting. And you go and get engaged. I can usually hear over the phone line when I'm talking to a client, the smile over the phone, and I know we're about to get engaged. But I would never coach someone to go forward with that step until she has what I call clarity in her kishkas, which is basically like, this is my person. Now, obviously, as those of us who are married know, you don't really get that last 2% clarity until you're married and you're living with the person, and all of a sudden, you see who they are. But barring any like whacked out mental illness or red flag type situations, which is rare, you know everything that you need to know through the dating period. And then we got to kind of take that leap off the cliff. So first of all, it just made me remember that the only thing we're asking ourselves after date 1 is, would I like to spend another couple of hours with this person? Please do not think, is this my spouse? Because you get way too insane and ahead of yourself, and it's not productive. So we're just like, would I like to spend another date? After the second date, it's kind of more the same. Would I like to spend another couple hours with this person? Then obviously we're getting into the more concrete stuff. How do I know it's time to get engaged? So again, men typically know quicker. So, I've had one exception to this where he was a bit of an overthinker about all decisions in his life. So I wasn't worried. I told the girl, it's okay, we're going to be patient, because I spoke to actually the guy's father, and the father was like, oh, he was like this with everything. Choosing a major, what school to go to, everything. He overthinks. Great. I'm not worried. They have like 5 kids now. So, but typically guys know, again, within about 5 minutes to 2 dates, they know. So it's kind of a different dating advice for a man. If a guy has been dating for a while and he's not really feeling it, maybe there's something it's not right. But for women, it can often take some time, because again, it takes time to develop that emotional connection. And that's really what a woman needs to be like, okay, I think this is my person. I feel like he's going to be there for me. He's a mensch, right? He's a good guy. He's going to be there for me, through pregnancy and post-pregnancy and like life's difficulties. You should feel, I really love being with this person. I'm married over a quarter of a century. And if I haven't seen my husband the whole day, I'm like excited to see him at the end of the day. And it's not that, oh my gosh, like I can't eat or breathe from like when you were 15, okay, or in the movies. It's like, this is my best friend. Like I miss him so much and I love being with him. So you want to feel at the end of the day before engagement, this is the person that I just love being in their presence. He makes me laugh. We just feel comfortable together. You're attracted. The basics are there. Go for it.